Hi Yogi and welcome to your practice. My name is Alan. This is Yin Yoga. For this practice, we will be focusing on your upper body. That would include your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your traps, and the upper back. So that would include your shoulder blades as well as your spine and your mid back. So you might feel a lot around those areas. So when you're ready, we're gonna sweep your feet under and let's meet in your tabletop. So begin to stack your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and try to find a good sweet spot wherein you don't feel any stress or tension around your palms or your knees. If this is too much, you may roll on a towel and place them under the palms or the knees to create cushion. And we're just gonna stay here, feeling the connection of our body to the mat. Then slowly, on your next inhale, begin to pull your hips to the back until you can sit on your heels. So at this point, there's no wrong or right positioning of your knees, whether your knees are together, maybe your knees are slightly apart, but you can really feel the connection of your hips to your heels as well as your belly in your inner thighs. And from here, we're just raising your awareness of your body with your surroundings, making you feel the connection again of your palms, your lower limbs, that would be your legs, your feet, onto the mat. Now at this point, some of us would have problems when it comes to the tops of our feet as well as the ankles at this position. So you might want to stay with your toes or ankles curled, or you may uncurl them, meaning to say you may curl your toes under as you sit on your heels, or you may untuck the toes and just stay here. Now at this point, this is the time we spread our knees as wide as the mat with our big toes together. This is the time as well that you can really feel the connection of your belly inside your thighs. When you're ready, begin to place the blocks right in front of you with on their middle height, right? And when you're ready, begin to land both hands on the top side of the blocks. And then slowly begin to dip or pull your chest downwards so that you can parallel your head in between your arms. This is an active child's pose, but at the same time, we're trying to release the tension around the shoulders as well as the tension the sides of your neck. the tension on your shoulder blades, tension around your lats or the sides, and the area under your armpits and surrounding your ribs. Now, when it comes to yin yoga, we tend to stay in a pose for about 2 to 5 minutes. And do not forget to breathe, inhaling to your nose and exhaling to your nose. If there are feelings of uncertainty, meaning to say you might feel some pins and needles around the joints, maybe the upper joints or the lower joints, then go ahead, step back, but do return and join us in this practice. Now, some of you might feel wobbly when it comes to arms or your head hanging or hovering onto the floor. Then go ahead, if this is too much, maybe you may drop your forehead on the floor, creating more space with your shoulder blades, and then allowing that opening around the armpits and the muscle area right by your chest, beside your chest, and by your rib cage. So stay here for 3 more breaths. Again, do not forget to inhale and exhale to your nose. Letting go of any thoughts that would linger. Allow yourself to stay present. On your next inhale, begin to lift your forehead off the floor if you did, and then slowly pressing the palms on the blocks. Remove yourself as you walk your hands close to your knees, sitting on your heels. And try to notice your body at this point. And stay here for a while. Now, next up, we'll be moving a little bit closer to the blocks. What you will do here, will start on your tabletop. Then, slowly, you're gonna place your elbows on top of the blocks. And then, interlocking your fingers, you're gonna slide and pull your head in between your arms as you dip down. And you're gonna feel a little strain on your back, on your shoulder blade, your shoulder joint, and maybe you would want to ask, when do I stop? So at this point, try to define your own tipping point. Meaning to say, know where to step back and know where to go deeper. And this is in line with what your body and mind can or may do for this practice. Maybe you don't feel too much today, then go ahead, just allow your head to stay above your shoulders. Or maybe if not, and you wanted a deeper expansion, then go ahead, try to pull your head a little lower, way up under your interlocked fingers. So you'll notice as well your belly is resting on top of your thighs, and you can still adjust your toes whether it be curled under or not. Now slowly and gently begin to place your hands down as you unlock the bind, and then walk your hands on top of the block, pressing yourself up. Let's go back first to your Virasana, your Thunderbolt pose. And this is a really good way of tuning in every time that we come out of a pose. When it comes to yin yoga, sometimes we're so engrossed with what's happening with the stretches that we tend to forget when we let go, that is the time we can really feel the release. We can really feel the loosening of the soft tissue and the deep tissue or deep connecting tissues. Now, the next one, still with the shoulders, but this time we're gonna place our palms right on top of our nape or right above our back, right in between the area of our shoulder blades. So when you're ready, come back to your tabletop and then begin to place first your forearms on the block. When you're ready, begin to pull your head down in between the blocks, and then as you lift both hands, you're gonna place one hand on top of the other and place it right under. So we'll start with our right hand under our left, and you may gently pull your forehead down on the mat and try to notice if this is okay. If you feel like you needed a deeper stretch, then go ahead. You may turn your blocks on their tallest height. Again, the key here is not to really get a deep stretch, but that feeling of letting gravity do its job. And at this point, as we stay still in a pose, you can really feel the loosening of the areas around the shoulder joints, right under the armpits, right around the shoulder blades or maybe the chest. Now slowly begin to push yourself up again. This time, we're gonna change with our left hand underneath. Right? So begin to pull your head back down. This time, with your left hand under the right hand. And this is really good for students if you needed that much of release coming from the strain around your shoulders, your neck, your lats, the latissimus dorsi part of your muscle. So that would be the muscle right under your rib cage, or that is running across or going down to your ribs. Slowly inhale, release your hands, and then walk your hands until you can press yourself up. We shall sit down here and removing our blocks in the meantime. And we'll be doing some threading of the needle after this. We're almost there and can really feel already the release around the shoulders, even the sides of your neck, the tops of your shoulders, your traps and lats. And this is a good release, especially for those of you, if you're not just a yoga student, but you may be a bodybuilder, you may be doing a lot of upper body strength, then this is really good for you. Now slowly walk your hands forward with your palms down. Let's start again on your child's pose. You may fully extend your arms with your elbows down, or maybe the elbows are hanging. Allow the shoulders to pull in opposite directions, the left and the right. You can feel the collapse of the shoulders. Slowly walk your hands under your shoulders as you press yourself up. We shall now thread the needle. So from here, walk your hands until you can stay on your tabletop. From here, walk your right hand a little bit towards the top of your mat. And when you're ready, we're gonna slide our left arm under and drop your left temple and your left shoulder on the mat. Now, at this point, you may sweep your right arm and place it on your back. Now, option here is to curl your toes under, or you may untuck the toes under. Stay here. And if you need to close your eyes to focus on your practice, then do so. If not, you may join me with the eyes gazing afar, or find the drishti, a point that is not moving. And we'll notice the release of the shoulder, whether it be the one closest on the mat or maybe the one with the bind. Now take another inhale. Begin to unwrap your right hand. And as you press your right hand down on the floor, you're going to lift yourself up and gently back to your tabletop. And again, if you need to wiggle your hips side to side, and do so. Alright, we're just going to change and we'll twist this time towards the left. So walk your left hand to the top side of the mat. On your next inhale, you're going to thread the needle with your right arm under and dropping your right temple and your right shoulder on the mat. When you're ready, begin to wrap your left hand behind your right waist. And at this point, you can feel the collapse of your shoulders, whether it be the left or the right. And try to notice how it feels when it comes to your temples and your shoulders. If there is so much tension or so much pressure, then you may place a pillow or roll a towel and place it under you to create a cushion. Now slowly inhale, come back with your left hand under your shoulder, pressing yourself up. You're gonna wiggle your hips side to side. Then from here, what we will do is quite a deep sensation as we're going to do a puppy pose. So, we're going to walk our hands all the way to the top corners of the mat. On your next inhale, you're pulling your chest close to your thighs as you slowly drop your chin on the mat. And we're just going to stay here for a couple of minutes. On your next inhale, you're gonna slide forward until you can drop your hips, your belly on the floor. And then slowly adjust with your elbows shoulder width apart, with the hands parallel to your elbows. And we're staying on our Sphinx. Pulling your head up and just staying here for a while. Now slowly, when you're ready, begin to walk your hands right under your shoulders as you press yourself up, lifting your chest back to your Thunderbolt pose, your Virasana, sitting on your heels, and try to notice the connection and how your body, especially your upper body, is feeling. That's what we will do up next. Is we're gonna come down on the floor and we're gonna roll onto our backs. You're gonna bend your knees and plant your heels on the floor or on the mat. And at this point, try to create those micro adjustments. When you're ready, you're gonna extend both arms all the way to the sides. Create that letter T with your arms, with your palms facing downwards. Now we'll start by pulling our right knee towards our chest. And we're gonna extend our left leg downwards. With our right hand, we're gonna hold, left hand rather, we're gonna pull our right knee as we twist to your left. And making sure that your entire back, your shoulders are well rested on the mat. So keep pulling your right shoulder on the ground, and you may gaze upwards, maybe towards the right knee or maybe towards the right shoulder. So what we're after here is the connection of the shoulders on the mat and not our gaze. Slowly inhale, come back to center, extending your arms. This time, as you extend your right leg, we're gonna pull our left knee towards our chest. Now grabbing your left knee with your right hand, you're gonna twist to your right. And at this point, you might feel that your left shoulder is trying to lift off the ground. So go ahead, try to pull it down on the mat And follow your gaze maybe with your left knee or your left shoulder. At this point, I'm just focusing my view of the sky, well, of the ceiling for this matter. Slowly on your next inhale, come back to center. We're gonna extend our legs and rotate your shoulders with your palms facing the ceiling. And just stay here for a while in our Shavasana, our corpse pose. You may gaze downwards or towards the tip of your nose, or you may close your eyes. Slowly come back and begin to extend your arms overhead. We're gonna roll onto one side and just lie on that arm closest on the ground. Stay here for a while. When you're ready, with your hand propped on the ground, push yourself up, and we are back on our sitting easy seated pose or Sukhasana. Placing your hands together. Thank you so much for letting me guide you in today's flow of yin. I hope to see you again next time.